listening to CLNS Media, powered by betonline.ag. Go to clnsmedia.com/roll. Use our promo code CLNS50 for 50% off your first deposit.
Back with another episode of the Causeway Street Podcast. Josue Pavone here. Joel Pavone is here. Sean Dutra, of course.
What's up?
We got another trade that went down literally like a day after we recorded last week's episode. Chris Paul is no longer in Houston. We got Russell Westbrook reuniting with James Harden. Man, we'll get into that later, though. First things first.
I like it.
Let's react to... you know what? Actually, no. We'll say that for last. What am I talking about? We'll react to the what happened in Summer League, what we think about the Celtics team, and what this team could look like, especially with the young guys. But first things first, let's get to our guest of the show, our very special guest. She is the host of Horford Happy Hour, the sister of NBA big man Al Horford. She is Anna Horford. So what's up, Anna?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
It's been a while.
I know it has been a while. I'm good. I'm really good, actually. I'm sipping a really strong red wine right now.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So how's the podcast been doing?
It's really good. I'm loving season 2. It's been fun. We've covered some really interesting topics, and yeah, I'm always excited to talk Horford Happy Hour, to be on your podcast as well. And I feel like it's been too long.
I know it's been a while. It's been a long time, but we've got plenty to talk about, of course, because of what happened in the last 3 weeks. It feels like it's been, right? Has it been a month? Man, this summer's flying by.
It's been only about 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, but when Al Horford opted out, the writing was sort of on the wall there. Yeah. So that was about almost a week before the start of free agency.
That was around like draft time. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about your brother.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So, how did you first find out about Al heading over to Philly, and what was your immediate reaction?
I was honestly super shocked, and just because I kind of was, and then the rest of the family, we were kind of thinking Al had his mindset on the West Coast, and so Philly, honestly, even to us as his family members, it was a shock.
Did he mention any teams in particular? I mean, obviously there's reports out there, but it's hard to comb through them and see which ones were legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously Dallas was an option. The Clippers were an option. Ooh. There was a little buzz about the Lakers, but ultimately, I mean, Al kind of went with what he thought would be best for him.
Going back before it was announced that Philly was going to sign Al, when news broke that he opted out of his final year of his contract here with the Celtics, were you shocked about that, or did you see maybe that already coming and you just assumed, oh well, he's just going to sign a new deal in Boston? What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, the second thing, that was exactly what I thought. So it wasn't a surprise to me at all. I saw that coming for sure. Thought that he would be signing a new deal with Boston. Unfortunately, it did not work out. And you guys, it shattered my heart into a million fucking pieces. Like, seriously, I was devastated for quite a long time. Yeah, it was tough.
Well, I can imagine the backlash on Twitter.
There actually wasn't as much backlash as there was love, which I think is really, really cool. I tweeted about, like, my love for Boston remains. It got, like, over 13,000 likes. The Boston Celtics fan base, man, it's something that our family forever appreciates, and I did not take it for granted while we had it, and I don't know, I love the Celtics fan base, so.
Yeah, so I am glad you brought that up, because that's the one thing I'm thinking at from your perspective. You basically came into Boston, you joined this Boston fan base, everything was good, it was all lovey-dovey, except Lou Merlone. We'll leave him out of this, though. But, like, now you're going to, and I don't know. I'm just going to say, you're going to Philadelphia, and that's like the worst fan base of all time. They have the worst people.
Especially Eagles fans.
Eagles, yeah, and if you're an Eagles fan, you're probably a 76ers fan, and you're probably a Philly. It's just gross people down there. Are you going to integrate yourself with that fan base just as much as you did up here? You're going to just say, I can't be with those people.
Well, I feel like I'm just going to say, I don't think there's another fan base ever that's going to compare to the C's fan base. So we're not even going to try to do that. But what I am going to do is support Al and obviously support the team. I know it's really hard for C's fans, especially because Philly is seen as like, you know, one of our biggest rivals in the East and stuff, but I still have love for the Celtics. When we're not playing them, I'm still going to root for them. Our family, like, was so embraced by the city and the fans, that it's not just something that we can kind of forget overnight. To this day, like, I still, like, tear up about it from time to time because it was such an amazing, cool thing to be a part of that base. And I mean, I met, like, you guys, and I made so many connections in Boston, and so, you know, the CLNS media networks in Boston, and I've made friends in Boston. So it's not going to be easy at all, and nothing can ever replace you guys. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting perspective. Like, it is crazy. Like, you know, you think NBA is a business, you think of NBA as like, you know, of course I would go there. They gave him mad money, right? But then it's like, wow, geez, man. Like, you see the whole different side of it. It's interesting to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, and I do want to say, like, if Al could have made it work with Boston, he 1,000% would have, and I think that that's something for the fans to keep in mind.
Did you get a chance to have a conversation with him about the whole thing in particular, the whole process, or was it more just like, hey, you know, I know you're going to Philly, good luck, that type of dialogue?
Well, it was a little bit of both, but, like, I mean, we were even just texting today, like, a couple hours ago, because I had sent him a bunch of emails from Celtics fans from Nick at our network, and Al was like, he was seriously so elated and so grateful, and he, like, loved reading them. He sent me this long text after, like, you know, there's nothing like Boston fans, and they're so awesome, and I appreciate them so much, and that was, like, the coolest thing, and he seriously loved reading those emails. Like, it made him so happy, and just to, like, kind of feel the love from Boston, I feel like he really, really appreciated, and I feel like he'll never kind of forget that. So, yeah, I mean, we have talked about it, and we are kind of just trying to appreciate what's past, but also look ahead at what's to come.
I know on Twitter you're quite popular here in the Boston sports scene. Have you been bombarded with questions of, like, you know, why did he leave? Why did he go to Philly, or why did he ever consider leaving the Celtics? Have you gotten that kind of response on social media?
Yeah, me and my other siblings, like our younger siblings, Josh and Maria, who aren't even that active on Twitter, we've all gotten it. So I even, like, tweeted Josh mentioned cereal the other day, and people were like, why did Al betray us? And kind of like,
that sounds about
right. Like, that has nothing to do with his tweet, but whatever. Like, I tweet about social issues, political things, and, like, I still get comments on, like, you know, Al really hurt me, or yeah, my son's really upset with your brother that he left, or whatever. But we've also gotten a lot of love too.
What about Philly fans? Have any of them reached out to you?
No, they probably haven't, man. Come on.
I mean, I've gained a few hundred followers.
They're just slowly following you before they start actually tweeting at you?
In the last, like, couple weeks, I've gained, I would say, a couple hundred Philly followers, probably. I think that, I mean, I am friends with Liv Simmons, Ben's sister, and so people are really excited to see us kind of team up for next season because we're both a little ruthless on Twitter.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you had her on the podcast, like
yeah,
in your first season, right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had her on my podcast. We talked about, like, NBA sibling life and, you know, all the bullshit we have to deal with just because our brothers are good at putting a rubber ball into a metal circle.
That's crazy.
So,
is there a sibling?
So I am looking forward to, like, collaborating with her. Philly fans, it's interesting because Boston is just it's just a fucking beast of its own. Like,
hell yeah.
And nothing, like I said earlier, nothing really compares to it. So I haven't gotten the wave that I did with Boston fans, I feel like, which it was kind of a slow wave too. But I mean, and I also haven't been unfollowed by as many Boston fans as I thought, because, like I said, I've gained followers, not lost followers since it, which I was like, oh shit, I'm about to lose a ton of followers. And that hasn't really happened yet. I'm sure once I start tweeting about Philly, which I've tried not to do that much because I'm, like, honestly in a mourning period, like, wearing all black. kind of the thing.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. I was like, when are you you're waiting, right? You're reserving any comments about the Sixers yet.
But Boston fans are gonna unfollow you.
No,
though.
that first tweet.
That first tweet.
No, Boston fans are too nosy. They want to chime in on your
First tweet.
tweets.
That first tweet's gonna be, I think, might be a little brutal when it comes to rooting for the Sixers.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think it makes a lot of people like not like angry, but almost sad.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten the sweetest messages from people, and people are also like tweeting Danny Ainge, like, can we sign Anna to a 1-year deal? Like, can we, and I've gotten so much of that, and I smile every single time I read it. It's been awesome.
The Celtics Twitter is so weird.
It's
hilarious.
Yeah,
they are. And the tributes, okay, this is probably one thing I might not miss as much, but the tributes to Al's like beauty in his eyes and like weird Celtics Twitter really capitalized on that.
Chocolate
They're
milk.
like, oh man, your brother's so hot. And I'm like, well, thanks. Like,
yeah, that chocolate milk ad though. That
chocolate
didn't do
milk
any
ad,
favors.
yeah.
oh my gosh,
come
yeah,
on.
the chocolate milk too.
It's the eyes, man. People are obsessed with his eyes. That's always the main talking point. No, I'm serious. Joel thinks I'm joking. People always tweet about his eyes.
You've interviewed him, so did you get
get
trapped
lost?
into his eyes?
You get lost
when
there?
you were-
I caught myself once. I was like, I gotta look away. This is what
Yeah, he has
this is what
really
everyone's
long
talking about.
eyelashes.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
long
that's what it
eyelashes.
is.
It's really annoying. It's like women pay for
She said
eyelash
it's really
extensions to look like his.
It's just natural for him.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
I remember when you had him on, he was talking about because someone actually asked you this because it was the Ask Al episode, and someone was like, "Oh, Al, what do you do to keep such great skin?" He's like, "Soap and water. That's the trick, guys. Like nothing. I don't do anything."
Yeah, yeah.
What special moisturizer do you use, Al?
Like who asks questions like that? So weird.
Yeah, genetics are crazy, man.
All right, I'm gonna get it and get
It's that Latino genetics. What it is.
take it somewhere.
There you go.
76ers Celtics. Who has a better season this year?
Wow.
Oh, damn.
I'm putting you on the
Just
spot.
diving right in.
We're
Huh?
going right in. I'm done talking about
Ah,
Al's
shit.
beauties. Let's go.
It's not even August. Damn.
It's like
Yeah.
shit.
Honestly,
Yes, honestly.
Yeah, you
it's
could be
gonna
honest.
it's gonna be the 76ers, but like I said, I'm still gonna root for the season when we're not playing them.
See, Sean's having a hard time believing the fact that the Sixers, right now, as constructed, have a better roster than
We've
the
been
Celtics.
arguing with him for the last couple of weeks. He
And
can't
the
take
main
it.
reason, in my opinion, the main reason is because Al is there. When you have Al and you have Joel Embiid down low to guard arguably the best player in the NBA, that's kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think Al's gonna thrive with Joel, though. I think he's gonna be a good, not only mentor to him, but Al's also gonna be able to play the 4, which he hasn't really been able to do a ton in his NBA career, but it was pretty vital for him in college with those back-to-back national championships, playing with Joakim Noah. So I think that it's actually going to be a really big positive for them.
Yeah, I just still don't see how they're going to score, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know. That's my thing. I think if they had Jimmy Butler still on that team would be literally they'd be the number 1 championship contender in my eyes. They'd be the team to beat, but I just don't see how they're going to score. I still don't see it, but okay.
Yeah, I feel like we do need another shooter
Yeah.
at this point. We definitely do. We do need another shooter, but I really don't think that you can sleep on our size, and also like Al's not really a typical 4 or 5. He can pass really well. He makes really smart decisions, and I think that Philly was lacking a certain amount of discipline, and I feel like Al's really going to bring that to the table.
Well, you don't got to sell Al to us, at least to the Pavone brothers on this podcast. We know all about Al.
I love Al. I'm not saying Al's not going to do his thing, man. I'm just
Sean
saying.
just hates Philly.
There's no one's going to score on that team. If Embiid doesn't put up 50 a night, you guys are done. But that's it.
Opposing teams are going to have hard time scoring, though. That's the thing, too, also,
Yeah.
Sean.
Defense.
Oh yeah.
You can't win in today's NBA averaging 75 points per game. All right.
So, Anna, you talked about Al saying that he really wanted things to work in Boston, and what I got from that is maybe he didn't see the whole direction of where this team was heading. We know from the very beginning, and I feel like people forget, especially Celtics fans, that Al was always talking about getting a championship. That was always what he's been talking about from the second he was signed and from the press conference when he was introduced to the Boston media, 3 years ago. So I think that had a lot to do with it. But did you have a chance to talk to him about that in the sense of what exactly transpired or what broke down between conversations between the Celtics and Al?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really want to reveal too much. because we
do.
did kind of talk about it. But yeah, things just didn't work out the way he anticipated that they would. And not only just with the roster, but a few other things. And I don't think people understand how much Al seriously loved the Celtics and wanted to stay with the Celtics. And it just, sometimes things just don't work out and you just have to do, what's best for you at the end of the day.
True.
Agreed. Sean, your thoughts?
Sure. I don't know. I don't know what happened. So yeah, we'll take it.
Wait, can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
Sure.
What's up?
Okay.
Actually,
Was Al going to Philly better than Al going to the Lakers?
Ooh.
Oh.
That's a great question. You know
Because
what?
I
I
feel
think
like-
it is.
I mean, as
Because I feel like Boston really would have turned on him if he went to the Lakers.
yeah, that would have been bad. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
as Celtics fans, everyone would have turned on you and on Al because of that.
Lakers and LeBron. Yeah.
Yeah, that because of
Yeah,
the
mainly LeBron. I think it's mainly LeBron.
I think Lakers too. It's just that that Celtics Lakers
LeBron, man.
rivalry thing goes deep, goes really deep.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Al's the only person that I've ever seen in my Boston sports fandom just go to a rival.
It's not even a rival.
Hold
guy.
on. Yes, it is a rival.
Even Joel
from
Embiid
that.
himself said this
It's
isn't
not
a
a
rivalry.
rival. A rival is that.
Oh my God, Philadelphia's a Boston rival. What? Stop playing it down. It's a rival.
Not, bro. It's
yes,
not.
it is.
A rival is if they would meet all the time in the playoffs. If
They met last year in the
you're
playoffs.
talking-
They
you're-
played
yeah,
four times
before
a year.
that, and before that, when did they meet in the playoffs?
You're talking about
you weren't even born.
historically.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
If you
did. They played when the Celtics beat them in 2010.
If you want to go that route, you can put the Knicks in there too, because the Celtics have an old rivalry with the Knicks, but that doesn't translate till now.
Fine, guys.
I don't think you can call it a rivalry because the Celtics dominated the 76ers so often when they went head to head.
That's
So-
like that's
so
like
wait.
saying-
So wait, you
And
guys
I
are all saying
quoted Joel Embiid. I quoted him in a tweet to Liv Simmons, who is my friend, and quoted him about saying like, "No, Boston's not one of our rivals. They beat our ass all the time."
Yeah, it's true. That's like saying like Tampa Bay Rays are the rivals to the Red Sox. The Red Sox beat Tampa all the time. They're not rivals.
Johnny Damon won a World Series and then went to the Yankees, and people were burning his jerseys.
Yeah,
This is-
that's the Yankees.
I'm
bro.
saying this as a, let me, if you let
Why
me,
is that being
I'm
brought
trying
up?
to say this is a compliment to Al Horford. There's something about Al that allows him to. I don't care what you guys are saying.
Get it.
Philadelphia is a rival.
You
Okay,
think you got a pass?
No. There's something being said about Al, like the way he acted here, the amount of class he showed in Boston. Somehow
Because it was short lived.
he gets a pass to go to a rival. It's not a saying like it's a bad thing. It's a saying it's a testament to Al. Like no one else in Boston has ever gotten away with that. Ever.
Anna, did you ever have a conversation with Al, like
It switches.
leading up to? No, I mean obviously not to keep piling all these questions here, but I'm really interested to find out exactly how he felt about last season. Obviously, it was a disappointment. It didn't end the way everyone anticipated. But did Al ever relay any, what exactly happened, or what by his estimation, what went wrong, and why the team wasn't able to go past the Bucks after beating them, and then dropping 4 in a row?
Yeah, I think that there was just a lot of overall frustration with a lot of the guys on the team. I mean, there was some miscommunication. There was some drama. Obviously, every team has that. But I think it was a frustrating and disappointing end of the season for these guys because, they were projected to do so much better than they did. And so, yeah, I think it was really hard on all of them. And Al takes losses very hard and very personally. And it seriously broke his heart, the way the season ended last season.
I feel like obviously there's a whole lot of blaming and finger pointing, and I feel like it's kind of obvious stating this, but Kyrie got a lot of that. Did you get a sense of any like frustration throughout the course of the season that maybe it was the way he was leading was a problem, or did you ever think that like just from outside looking in that was the case?
I think that Kyrie is a really layered person. And that
Okay.
sometimes people don't know how to respond or react or gel with that. I think I talked about this like on one of my episodes, but a lot of the guys didn't really feel comfortable with settling into the roles that the team needed them to settle into. It wasn't ever just one person, but I mean, sure, like drama and egos can shift the dynamic of a team. And I think that, Kyrie really wanted it to be his team. And when the previous season, it wasn't just one guy's team, it was their team collectively, and that's why they did so well.
Gotcha. All right.
That makes sense.
Man, see, now Anna's never going to come back to Boston.
Well, I hope the 76ers lose all their games this year. Sorry, Anna.
Damn, Sean.
We'll see.
I know.
Damn. Anna's not going to have any more...
Yeah, don't make me come for you on Twitter.
Anna's not going to have... Anna's going to be eating cheesesteaks now, chilling in Philly.
I'm telling you, she's going to be some pictures by the Rocky statue. That's next. You watch. That's next. Anna, we're watching.
The clubs and stuff are open past 2 a.m. as opposed to Boston. She's going to like it way better than over there.
Don't forget, we're still podcast mates here, all right? We're on the same network here.
That's true.
We're on the same network as Lakers people too, man. So we'll be all right.
Yeah.
No, I definitely still plan on coming to Boston. I fucking love that city.
All right, cool. Sounds good then.
Definitely.
All right, she is Anna Horford, host of the Horford Happy Hour podcast. You can check her out, of course, on iTunes and every other platform where you can find other podcasts as well. clnsmedia.com. And you do have a brand new episode coming out this week, correct?
Yeah, I do. I have an episode coming up.
Perfect. All right, check her out. She's Anna Horford. Anna, as always, we appreciate you stopping by.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Keep up with the good tweets. Fuck what everybody else says.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Later. Layered, huh? Layered personality. Well, I guess that's one way to put it.
The fact that those contract negotiations broke down so quickly,
Negotiations.
I don't think Al heard what he wanted to hear.
Well, we all anticipated for him to opt out because it was better. It was in the Celtics' best interest to restructure his contract.
Yeah, but
You think it was the money though? You think it was the money?
well, I want
Because
to add one more thing. I could just imagine him going to Ainge and like, all right, I'm not on social media like that. I'm not constantly checking like, oh, what's happening around the team. I'm gonna ask you directly: is Kyrie Irving walking? And what does that mean for the rest of for the future of the squad?
Do you think that Danny didn't have enough confidence to tell Al that, yeah, Kyrie's walking, but I'm going to replace him with Kemba?
But he couldn't replace him with Kemba if Al was going to sign.
So you think that was the conversation? Was like,
no,
hey,
I think
that's an empty promise.
No,
We're
rebuilding.
No,
I think maybe he was just like, we're rebuilding.
Yeah, we're rebuilding, and
you're not
most
in our
likely
plans.
we're going.
You're probably not in our plans.
No, I don't think it was even that. It was like, if you want to be a part of the plans, we're more than happy to have you. Terry Rozier is probably going to be the starting point guard for the squad.
Or do you think they said it's got to be at this number?
Could be a little bit of both.
I
mean, from what I heard, it was
got a great contract.
From what I heard, it was the fourth year that was part of.
Because Jackie McMullen was saying that he was offered a healthy 4-year deal.
Right. Well, the healthy part is where I think both sides didn't agree on.
It was a 3-year deal spread over 4 years, probably.
Yeah.
Like instead of a full 4-year deal.
Or maybe it was a 4-year and it was not a player option. Maybe it was a team option.
No. But if you think about it, they probably gave him a 4-year deal, but at 3-year max money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you'll spread it out.
It was
over
nowhere
4.
near 100.
Yeah, you're guaranteed the same money we would do over 3 years, except it's over 4.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because technically 97 is guaranteed in Philly. Whatever 12.
I don't
11,
think
12.
the Celtics came close to 97.
That's what I'm saying, but I think the
I
other.
don't think so.
That's what I'm
neither.
saying.
It's all tied in with them winning a championship, and maybe the Celtics offered something similar, less, and they were like, and he's like, I don't see this team, kind of, especially if Kawhi was going to stay in the East. He's like, I don't see this team going back to that level.
To be honest, if Al stayed, you would have all been seeing what Sean's plan really was all about. Sean's plan.
Yeah, I mean,
we were in Sean's plan territory.
Yeah,
Well,
because,
that's assuming that Kemba doesn't walk, which I still think he would have walked, and then Charlotte is going to go right after Terry, and there's no way the Celtics are going to match that offer. So you could have, it probably would have been Sean's plan, but without Rozier.
With probably
been a
Sean
huge hole in the
Livingston or
backcourt.
some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd be signing Livingston. We'd be like, word, he's available. Nice.
Or like McConnell or something. Who knows, man?
yeah, no, you're right.
McConnell would have ruined Sean's plan.
He could have gone. Kemba, yeah, you're right. Kemba could have gone to like New York or something like that.
I can hear you right now. This isn't Sean's plan anymore.
McConnell's not part of Sean's plan. No, but all I got to say is, I will say
The Clippers part was interesting to me.
yeah, the Clippers, that was interesting.
Ooh, I like
but
that.
that was probably I don't
Before
think
Paul George.
Yeah.
No, they were like if all else fails,
Yeah.
but like I wasn't just wait around. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be signed within the first week or two.
I can get
Yeah.
But it is strange. Like I still think it's.
I bet you the Mavericks were offering him a shit ton more than he got from Philly. And
no,
he's
I'm
like,
sure it was averaging probably around the same. No one's going to give him.
Nah, the Mavericks
Maybe
Cuban
maybe
doesn't care about
maybe the whole 112 is guaranteed. You know what I mean? But hey, all I know is Philly's our rival, man. And even if you want to say that they were,
you can say it as many times as you want. but it's not true.
But if you're saying they're a better team this year than they were last year,
I'm not saying that they're better this year than last year. I'm saying in the East right now,
yeah.
after Milwaukee, it's Philly, bro.
Is Milwaukee? Would you
It's not the Celtics.
If the Celtics are number 3 in your world, if the Celtics are number 3, and let's say even Indiana's number 4, would it make sense? Would you for this year? Would you say that those are our rivals for the year? I mean, the Sixers and the Celtics have been battling for the top 4 spots for the past 2 or 3 years now.
And the Celtics win all the time. The Phillies only won once in how many? And since Joel Embiid has been in the league, they've only won once, maybe twice if you add that the one game of the playoffs 2 years ago.
Game 4.
Yeah, that's it.
They avoided the sweep and then they lost game 5.
Yeah, no, that's it twice.
Okay.
This episode of the Causeway Street Podcast is brought to you by betonline.ag. Right now, when you head over to clnsmedia.com/Causeway, make sure you enter the promo code CLNS50. You'll get 50% cash back on your first deposit when you bet online with betonline.ag.
Right now, betonline.ag has plenty of opportunities for you to win money, including a collection of prop bets where you can really come up big. One of them actually has to do with Zion Williamson, Sean. I would love to hear your take on this. BetOnline.ag right now has him averaging 18 points per game throughout his rookie season. You can take that bet right now and win big when you bet online with BetOnline.ag. Yeah, which side of that bet you taking, Sean?
Hammer the under.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
By a lot?
By a lot.
Oh boy.
I'm thinking 13 to 12 for Zion rookie year.
Either way, you can win some money right now. Head over to clnsmedia.com/Causeway. That's clnsmedia.com/Causeway. A minimum deposit of $25 is required to qualify for the bonus. You enter the promo code CLNS50. You'll get a 50% cashback bonus on that $25 deposit. Please see BetOnline's general rules for additional terms and conditions regarding the bonuses.
All right. You know, I'm glad you're ranking teams in the East right now because I'm really interested to see what your Western Conference looks like right now because now the Houston Rockets have
Forget about it. This dude has the
James
Rockets winning it all probably
Harden
next year.
and Russell Westbrook together. I love this, guys. I love everything about it. Another team in the mix because I've been saying this since last year. I've never believed in the Rockets since they blew their chance in 2018. And then now they turn around. They're able to get rid of probably the worst contract in the NBA in Chris Paul. And you grab Russell Westbrook, and now you're in the mix to compete for an NBA championship.
The second worst contract in the NBA. But
right. Well, that's how that works, though, right?
It is. Yeah,
you're not going to trade off the
dollar
worst,
dollar for dollar.
and you're going to obtain another bad contract. But you have a chance to see Westbrook and James Harden work things out.
You can't
try to get a championship in Houston.
This is like the way the offseason's been, like everything was like building up and everyone's like, how could you get better than Kawhi and Paul George going to the Clippers? And there we go. Russell Westbrook and James Harden on the same goddamn team again, reunited. And you know what? Last week I was telling you how I wasn't sold on the new super teams. I don't consider this team a new super team.
Why not?
I consider this team because of the fact that you have two guys that played together before. The Rocket squad they didn't blow up their squad.
Well, I don't think
like the Lakers did.
This whole offseason this summer, in my opinion, I don't see it as super teams. I see it as super duos.
Right, but I'm just saying the way you get the super duos is tough. Like the Lakers traded their whole entire fucking team.
Yeah.
And they had to fill it in with scraps. The Clippers didn't have the type of team the Rockets do, the type of talent the Rockets do
to surround those
guys. The Rockets now you're looking at it and you say, how do you go to the ledge? They thought it was Chris Paul. Now you bring in a guy that's definitely going to bring way more to the table every single night. I know Russ hasn't won anything, and I know James hasn't won anything, and I know the team has been a perennial loser, but I'm more sold on the Rockets than any other team out west right now. I love this move
over the Clippers, huh?
Yep. Yep. I am.
I love this move if Westbrook comes in and says, I'm going to be the distributor of the squad. Like I will make sure Harden gets his points without Harden dominating the ball 90% of the time.
I think the biggest change is going to have to be with Harden a little bit. But I think he's more apt to do that with a guy like Russ.
No, but I mean, yeah, he's apt to do that with a guy like Russ, but
like instead of Chris Paul, like
I'm saying, but like if Russ's offense has to take a back seat a little bit,
Which it will.
Well, I mean, if he does that, if he becomes just a strictly distributor and not worry about his triple doubles, and Harden doesn't worry about trying to win another MVP and just sees the big picture and just says, yeah, no, I want to get at least to the finals.
See, I love this because I think that's their mentality. Like think about the way they look at Kevin Durant, right? The other part of that trio from OKC. They're like, this motherfucker's been to the finals and won MVP. And look at us. Like, we've been trying to do it on our own.
See, because
now we're back together. Now let's get better than Kev.
I mean, the reason why I talk about Westbrook's offense taking a step back is because if he's going to be the same guy he's been in OKC, first off, he's a worse shooter than Chris Paul.
Yeah.
In every aspect. Like 3-point, free throws, all okay.
Just the worst shooter.
Okay. That's number one.
Let's break down all those.
Like number two,
right-handed,
no one like, and maybe that's probably what led to their breakup, between Chris Paul and Houston. No one got in other teammates' asses more than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And again, maybe that's what led to their breakup.
Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, you play like 35 games.
I know, that's it. So
yeah.
Go sit down.
Like pretty much you got
Meanwhile,
you got a younger guy. Again, it's still a maybe not a bad contract.
Oh, I mean,
it's
a tough contract. When you trade that contract and then it counts on the Rockets cap.
First of all, Houston got lucky that a trade like this was available. Because they were stuck with Chris Paul. They didn't need to give Chris Paul $45 million a year.
No.
But
at his age.
You can't say you regret that now though, because you don't get Russell Westbrook without that.
Yep.
No, I get you. Yeah.
And that's why they probably signed him.
That's why they're lucky that they were able to pull this trade off. Now, on the flip side, does OKC eat this money? Because who you can't trade Chris Paul.
You're going to be hard pressed.
Straight up.
OKC's fucked. Yeah. They could trade, but they have to. If they what about Miami? What about Miami?
No, but that's what I'm saying. If they negotiate a buyout and Paul and Chris Paul, no, it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah, but Chris Paul's not going to leave that much money on the table. He's owed.
That's what I'm saying. Like if his ego comes into play. If he says, "I'm going to eat some of this contract and legit try to go
sign
somewhere,"
a new contract for like $15 million a year.
Probably even less because you're still going to get paid this money just over over a 6, 7, 8, 10 year period.
How many years is left of that contract?
It's 3 more years.
3 more years
at $140 million.
Yikes!
What all these, but the majority of these free agents have been signing for, that's on the books.
Yeah,
and he's already a year into the contract.
Yeah, like he's 38 next year, 43
the year,
options, and 40. Options? He gets paid $46 million that last year, and it's a player option. He's gonna take this.
He's like 38 at that point.
Yo, if I was OKC, I would just say, Chris, we're gonna pay you money, and you want to coach. Because we got so many goddamn draft picks coming through this motherfucker place.
I'm OKC. I'm keeping them healthy, giving them nights off, and I'm waiting to hear all the offers. What's out there? I'm capitalizing on this.
Move. That's your only move because you know what? You have enough draft picks that if you need to sweeten the deal,
like it's one thing
to get him off the books, and you can get a couple players, just throw in a fucking first round draft pick, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's one thing if you want to
75 of them.
Put a package. It's one thing if you want to put a package together and say, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'll take the risk. No. Not a lot of teams can do that.
Yeah, but
afford to pay him $46 million.
If I'm OKC though, and I'm looking for options here, and if the reports are true that the Heat have called them about Chris Paul, I'm taking that deal all day because you got 2 guys from Miami that could turn into legit, I don't want to say stars, but maybe. You got Justice Winslow.
Yeah.
And you got James Johnson. No, not him.
Yeah, I would demand Olynyk.
I would say James Johnson. I would say James Johnson, Justice Winslow.
Probably Dragic too. Dragic's on the final year.
Can I get there, bro? And then you get Dragic. You got your point guard, and you got 3 guys. And then you have the 8 first-round picks that you got from Paul George and Russell Westbrook.
You probably cut Dragic because I don't think you want any type of veteran on your team. But
just
still,
to match,
it's much easier, right?
Or at least for 1 year to get Shea ready, and then Shay's going to take the reins.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Gilgeous-Alexander.
If you're OKC, you want youth, so you go for those. I think that deal sounds great,
right? Because Justice Winslow and Johnson gives you the youth, and then you got the draft picks to pick away the next 4 years.
Well, Johnson's
like what, 25, 26?
I don't know. I feel like he's closer to 30 than anything. But
first of all, we're awful with trying to guess people's ages. Last week
we fucking did.
Last week,
Kawhi.
No, we said Kawhi is 27. At the end of his contract, he'll be 30.
What?
You said he was 30. You said he was 30 already.
That motherfucker is old young man syndrome. He's got old young
got
man
drafted.
Benjamin Button syndrome.
He got drafted in 2011.
I mean, if you look at his rookie pictures, he looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, he's the same. Yeah.
Anyways, Rockets.
It was
okay?
somebody else that I nailed. I forget.
The Thunder will be okay. They if you had to give up your two best players, the fact that you got was it 9 first round picks?
8.
And that includes the swaps?
2 of them are protected, if I'm not mistaken.
So you got
Hold on. You're talking about from the Clippers.
From the
both.
Clippers,
From
2
both.
of them are protected.
From the Clippers, it was 7.
They got 7 picks from the Clippers?
No, I thought they got 4
Yeah, and
picks.
then 3 from Houston.
3.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
For Paul George? Is this what
Paul
we're talking
Georgia
about?
was 4.
Yeah, Paul George was 4.
And then Westbrook was
Yeah,
3.
3.
But they were
2
like
of them are
20,
protected from the
26 and
Clippers.
shit. Yeah.
2 of them are protected from the Clippers or swaps.
Either way, I think they ended up with 7 to 8 first round picks, including the swaps.
Real quick, the Clippers sent over to OKC for Paul George. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first round picks and 2 swaps.
So 5 first round picks, 2 swap.
Apart from those 5 picks, so it's 7 picks, like I had said.
Wait, 5 first round picks.
It's unprotected in 2022, 24, 26, protected in 2021 and 2023. And then it says they have the rights to swap in 2023 and 2025.
Damn,
Yeah.
it's a lot of picks.
So just that alone, and then
So they got about 10 first
whatever
round picks.
whatever
out of
they
the
got.
haul.
Yeah, whatever they got from
They got about
from
10.
Houston.
They got about 10 first round picks out of the hole.
So
That's
they
crazy.
got plenty of fucking assets. So Danny Ainge no longer king of the draft picks.
I did imagine Danny Ainge watching that happen, just like jerking off to the amount of draft picks that were getting thrown around.
He's
bro.
like, ooh, that's great.
Whoa, unprotected.
4 unprotected.
Could there be almost a 5th?
The 5th is protected, but you can take swaps. You can't get a better deal than that. That's like Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett deal on steroids. If you wait it out like 3 or 4 years and you just build youth, because you're going to suck, so your picks are going to be good. Then you're going to have these picks of the teams that will be good. The Clippers only got these guys for 2 years. So when they leave, well, those draft picks are going to turn into something pretty fucking nice.
I love how the Celtics started that like big 3 era that everyone was doing. You know, it was like Miami and then Golden State. And then they made the trade with Brooklyn after that big 3 era was over. And then now teams that are in that situation are like, oh, okay.
Let's be the Celtics.
That's what you do. You just snatch as many future first round picks as you can
Unprotected.
for your best player. And you start over on the fly. And within 2 or 3 years, you'll be back in the mix.
And don't forget about those pick swaps, because the pick swaps
Right.
I think are better than, for some reason, I like pick swaps better because they're usually unprotected pick swaps because you're giving them a first round pick. I love pick swaps way better than just give me your protected first round pick.
What are your final thoughts on the Celtics Summer League?
Celtics Summer League.
Did anything change between
well,
now and last week?
First round knockout. These guys aren't winners. No, just kidding.
When the pressure's on, I don't know about these kids.
Taco fouled. That was stupid.
That was kind of funny. That was
Either way.
I'll let it slide.
No, I think same thing. Did you watch Robert Williams? Did you watch him up close? How do you feel about him? I told you I was preaching. You feel good about him?
He's a work in progress.
I feel
man.
great about him, man. I do feel great about him. I feel great about him.
He's
Carson
progressing.
Edwards going to make this team. Grant Williams going to make this team. Taco is not going to make this team, unfortunately. I think he'll be in the D League. He needs. If you think Robert Williams is raw, then Taco is raw as fuck. So
Yeah, I'm hoping Robert Williams will spend a lot of time in the G League this year.
no, I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to spend a minute in the D League.
Yeah, same.
I think they're too weak at center.
I'm still huge on Grant Williams, man.
Me too.
Something about this kid.
Me too. I like him a lot. He reminds me of a little bit of young Antoine.
Really?
Post up Antoine. Down
okay.
low Antoine. Before he started the wiggle and the
Yeah,
threes.
I was gonna say, man, young Antoine was chucking shots.
No, young Antoine.
He
Antoine
was
stayed
chucking. He
under
got-
the basket.
Yeah, but he also had the green light on offense, and he just didn't.
And he took it to
Let
the
up.
yeah,
He
but
would
but
just
like,
go.
but we haven't. I'm saying we haven't had like a.
Our young listeners are like, "Who's Antoine?"
But when Antoine first came here and he was like coming out of college, he didn't do that. He didn't do that crazy 3 points and shit in the college. He was like, "Now I'm gonna play down low, post me up, what?" And a little finesse around the rim. I like that. And we'll see if it transitions into today's NBA. But he's not very often you see a 6'7" guy down low anymore. You know?
Nah, he's listed 6'8", but yeah.
Okay,
I get
6'8", sure.
Joel, what you got from the summer league? Anything? Are you on the taco train?
No, I'm not on the taco train. Everyone,
Oh, don't tell Celtics fans that.
Taco Tuesday. Fuck you, LeBron.
No, it's
Ruined Taco Tuesday for everybody.
No, the fact that the Celtics have this roster spot open because of Yabusele being waived, and it's just like, just give it to Taco. It's like, just let him do his thing in Maine, and if you gotta call him down every now and again, then it's whatever. It's
He needs some more development.
you don't need to fill that spot right away.
Right. What's the rush?
Let's see what happens if someone gets waived. That it could be a good addition to this roster. Danny's never been quick to just fill a roster spot, especially in third week in July.
Yeah, because do you need 15 to start the season?
You don't need it. No, you just can't be over.
Yeah. I think he'll keep that bad boy open. I think it's a smart move to keep it open.
I think the Celtics last year were at 14 the whole fucking year, and
but I think
everyone was so like, oh, fill that spot. Like, you don't have to fill it,
especially with their cap situation. You should leave that spot. You should, just because it's easier to bring someone up and make a trade and do whatever you got to do, and we'll see. So yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed by the team. I was actually a little bit bummed they lost in the first round, but
I mean, given the circumstances of Tremont Waters.
Showed some heart.
Showed some more than heart. I don't know what.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
That's some resiliency. That's some, I don't know.
Yeah, that's some Isaiah Thomas shit.
And that's like, it probably affected the rest of the team. It's like as close as you can see that roster was. I know, I get it, summer league, but it had to have affected other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
And they made a comeback.
For a summer league team, those guys are really tight. Like, you see how loose they are, joking around, and they're up on their feet most of the time, cheering away. So that's always a good sign.
So they got within one. They were losing the entire game.
Here's my biggest takeaway from summer league is that I can't fucking wait for training camp because I want to see Romeo Langford play. Like, I am so just intrigued by this dude. Like, it's just the other three draft picks really, and Tremont Waters played well in the summer league.
He did.
I mean, Edwards, Williams, Waters, they all played lights out. Do we have someone better than that in Romeo Langford? That's my biggest thing. I can't wait to see this guy suit up and see, can he change the dynamic of this bench with being, the current day type of player, the slasher, someone that has a nice jump shot, can come in, see what he does, see what he gives you.
Does it translate in the NBA?
Yeah, man.
As great as these standouts were, the guys that we've talked about, especially in the last episode, no one from the Celtics was selected on the
isn't that crazy?
The all summer league team.
Didn't Carson Edwards lead the fucking
first or second?
Wasn't he like the second in scoring in the whole summer league? Or?
He averaged about 20 points a game and nothing.
Crazy. Taco Fall filled the stands.
No love.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, it was a tweet. It was weird. I was like, I don't know any of these people. So wait, was no Celtics on this shit? I got pissed all of a sudden. Like, I didn't care at all before I saw that shit, and then I was like, how the fuck are there no Celtics on this?
All right, let's wrap this show out the way. Wrap up every episode here on Causeway Street with Joel's In Case You Missed It.
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 As we take our trip around the league.
In case you missed it. I don't know if you guys saw this video that was floating around from probably like a decade ago, maybe even older than that, when Shaq said that he would never see another dynasty, that a team that made it to the finals 4 out of 5 years. Well, obviously the Warriors did it recently.
Never ever.
Never ever, he said. And that he said if someone were to do that, he would kiss that head coach's feet.
If a coach takes a team to the finals 4 out of 5 years, I'll kiss his feet on Fear Factor with cheese on it. I will. It'll never be done again.
Right.
Shaq's a weird dude.
So Steve Kerr retweeted this video that's been flown around about him saying this. And the reason why I bring this up, because our great sponsors over at betonline.ag actually have like a prop bet that's on their Twitter. And it's at plus 130 for yes, that he will kiss Steve Kerr's feet, and a minus 170 for no.
Wow.
Give me those odds again.
Plus 130 for yes, and a minus 170 for no.
So how are they going to honor that bet if it happens in like year 2042 or something like that?
It happened because Golden State went to the finals 5 straight years. Shaq was saying that would never happen because the Lakers went to the finals 4 straight years.
So what's the bet then?
Will Shaq lick Steve Kerr's feet?
That's the bet.
That's
the
bet on Bet Online.
I thought you were talking about like another franchise reaching that feat that the Golden State Warriors just. I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah, I just funny over here. I didn't mean to do it, man. Yeah. Hey, what do you know?
It's just natural.
It's just pure comedy over here, all right? It's pure comedy.
I'm like, we got to wait like half a decade to even see if that's even going to happen.
Man, yeah, I don't even know if any other team's going to dip their toes in the water.
The reason why
That's funny. So people have to bet if Shaq going to. Yeah, I'll take that bet all day. Absolutely.
Wait, Shaq's going to lick his feet, huh?
He's going to do an All-Star Weekend or something. Yeah, come on, Shaq. This isn't Charles Barkley. If Charles Barkley said this.
Imagine if he really sucks on his toes.
I could see Shaq forcing it, yeah.
Just giving like a sucking on his toes.
Like a big lick. Just like you see his tongue just all over his foot.
in case you missed it, the Rockets were fined $25,000
foot fetish,
not for a foot fetish, but because the owner made the Russell Westbrook trade to Houston officially complete before it was. So I don't know if there was like any tampering there involved. I don't know.
Speaking of tampering, what's up with these motherfuckers tampering these ice cream cartons in the stores and then licking them and putting them back?
Well, that's awful. Yeah.
What?
No, that became it.
What? You don't know what's going on with the tampering of foods in the United States right now?
It wasn't ice cream though. No, someone spit in the.
No, before that.
Before the spit in the Arizona ice cream.
The challenge is you go into a supermarket and you grab a carton of ice cream, you open it, you lick it, and you put it back.
I haven't bought ice cream since. I also haven't bought Arizona iced tea since.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong here. Don't they have the plastic wrapped around it?
Who does?
It used to.
Hood don't.
Hood does.
Well, I'm not buying Hood. I'm buying Ben and Jerry's.
I know Hood's always on sale.
No, I know Brian's used to have that because they used to like. I don't even
know what it's called. I know exactly what you're talking about. Everyone knows what we're talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you take off like the little zipper thing where you unzipped it when you knew, all right, this is a brand new box of ice cream, and you lift it up, and it was like a plastic film on top of your ice cream.
Bryce used to do that. Yeah, that's right.
All I'm saying is though, there's a lot of ice cream places out there that can't invest in that type of security, and now they are getting licked and put back, and it's a fucking disgrace. And you know what? This only happens in Trump's America, man. I swear to fucking God.
So are kids like filming themselves doing
that? Yeah, they are. Yeah.
There's this one girl.
Sean's such a dad now. He's so fired up about this.
There's one girl.
Can't even go out and enjoy a goddamn Neapolitan fucking ice cream no more. Don't know what flavor they licked. Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. I don't fucking know.
There's one girl getting prosecuted actually for this.
Yeah, like 20 years.
That's the one video that went like viral.
That motherfucker who spit in the iced tea though needs to go just die. Like the cartel, give him to the cartel. Like, or you know what? Give him to Arnold Palmer. Like his family. Just let him deal. Let him.
I think Palmer died quite some time ago.
Still, man, like I can't look at Arizona iced teas the same way. Those big plastic jugs were always suspect to begin with. Now you gotta deal with that.
There you go.
Now you gotta deal with that.
Especially in college, if you always had those big jugs.
Yeah, and you're like, this.
They look at you like, hey, you want some tea? No, I'm good, man.
Looks mad. It sounds mad refreshing, but. Something about that jug.
It's not that clear.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, right.
Especially if it's been opened, it's like someone definitely chugged straight from that thing. There's no way.
Yeah,
they grabbed a cup. Like,
yeah. So the Arizona iced tea brought out a lot of feelings in me.
You got to get to the.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why you brought this up because of the Arizona.
You got to get the tall guy, man. Get the can. You know, it's only
can. Yeah, that's my jam. That's my jam. I really enjoy the raspberry iced tea. But that's just me. Anyways, go ahead, Joel. What else we miss?
Any other flavors?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, you want to talk about iced tea, man? We can sit here all day.
No, those tall boys are always a go-to back in the day.
In case you missed it, old friend Marcus Morris Sr., not Jr., has fired Rich Paul as his agent.
I don't blame him.
And you're like, oh, what's the big deal? You fired Rich Paul. Well, a few weeks ago, actually, not even a few weeks ago, like a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, we all thought, hey, he's going to San Antonio, right? 2-year deal, $20 million. And then all of a sudden, he tells the Spurs, actually, hold up. Because he's looking at another deal from the Knicks, 1 year, $15 million. So he took so long to decide between both franchises that the San Antonio Spurs said, you know what? We're good. Go to New York.
If I'm Marcus Morris...
But that's not the kicker, though.
Yeah, no. You're not. Wait for this.
Let me finish.
There's more?
There's more.
Check this out.
There's more.
Jesus Christ.
There's more.
What happened?
Apparently, the reason why he fired his agent was because he had a deal before anyone was to go to the Clippers. 3 years. This was reported, right? We're not sure if this is true or not, but reportedly, a 3-year, $41 million deal with the Clippers, and Rich Paul told him, don't take that.
Really?
Yes. Before anyone, before the Spurs even. Yeah.
I don't know if the years were disclosed, but it was definitely a $41 million
I think,
deal.
I dug a little deep, and it was $41 million, but it's about 3 years.
Even if it's 4 years, it's $41 million guaranteed.
That's about $14 million a year. And now he's at a 1 year, 15 with the great roster that is the Knicks.
Morris is not one of those players that can just bank on himself to like make more money next year. He's not going to have a better season than this year.
I don't know, man. But
Well, I mean,
if I'm Marcus,
Oh, he's going to be a year older, you know.
I'm telling my agent, call up the Clippers next year and see what's good with next summer, because I'm not trying to stay.
I don't know. That's not even going to happen.
I'm not going to stay here long term. But yeah, you're right. We don't know what their cap situation is going to look like, you know, in 2020.
Like I get it. The player usually informs the agent of what they want to do, but I guess in this situation, he was like, "Nah, man, 3 years, $41 million. Won't you hold off on something better?"
Yeah, because we don't want to make the Clippers better than the Lakers, you know.
Do you think that had something to do with it, LeBron?
100%. 100%.
But the whole you know, making San Antonio wait when you kind of already agreed you were going there, and San Antonio to the point where they're like, "Yeah, no, we're taking back our offer. Like, go kick rocks."
Do you think the NBA should change something with that?
No, I think Rich Paul should be banned from the NBA. That's the only thing I should think.
I mean, no one's going to forget what happened with DeAndre Jordan and the Dallas Mavericks. So I feel like there's some, you know, unfairness with how players can back out of that, or back out of agreeing to a deal. But maybe put a window to it. Maybe put like a 7-day window, as opposed to what DeAndre did, which was like a month, or like literally right before he about to sign.
There is, though.
He backed out.
There is. They can't sign until July 6th.
No, I know, but I'm saying that should be.
So, like, anything that happens in that time frame, like, just because it's reported doesn't mean it's fucking gold.
I'm with you, but I'm saying that shouldn't be frowned upon if you back out, you know, a week before. I mean, if you back out when it comes down to signing a week after you agree to do it.
I'm with you if it's the player, but if it's the agent playing these head games,
well, they go hand in hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The player hires the agent. Bro.
That's what I'm saying. But the player, if Morris is like, "Dude, I want to go to the Clippers," nah, man. Hold up.
So
I'll get you an even better deal somewhere else.
But I think there's a problem if teams start backing out of deals more often, which happens a lot more than we think.
Yeah.
Look at the Reggie Bullock thing. They signed that guy.
I was just going to say, that's why the Knicks were able to offer it. Yeah.
I mean, Nerlens Noel also fired.
Yep.
Rich Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money Rich Paul really loses from losing these two clients, but.
Well, I think it gives him a black, like it's basically like, hey, if you
the
want
only way that gives him black eye.
If you want to go to the Lakers, sign with Rich Paul.
The only way that gives him, like, if LeBron says, "No, I'm good with you," then that would hurt him.
That's never gonna happen.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Rich Paul's gonna sign LeBron's next free agent deal with hell.
Like,
and
he
they'll be
just,
like, "Oh, all right, I'll do my barbershop down there."
If he just has Anthony Davis and LeBron James from here on out, I think he's good. I think he's set.
Either way. Well, Ben Simmons cashed in.
Yeah. In case you missed it.
Of Rich Paul.
Ben Simmons, 5-year extension, $170 million.
What does that mean for the Celtics?
Yo, the Philadelphia 76ers have I think it was $560 million tied in with these top four guys between Simmons, Embiid,
Harris,
and Horford.
Yikes!
That
team's
that's your squad.
Yeah.
That's a squad. So that's in a good position, you guys. They're gonna be good.
Yeah, they'll be good
this year. Yeah, I mean, if the East gets better next year and the year after, then yeah, that's gonna be an issue. But as for this year, they're good this year.
So same draft class as Jaylen Brown. You have Simmons, number 1 pick, getting $170 million. You have Jamal Murray, was he 4? 4, getting was it even more than that? Was it $140 million maybe? Whatever. He's making like $29 million a year. Jaylen Brown?
Wait, Jamal Murray's making that? Oh yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, those guys are focal points of their offense.
Seriously, bro.
That's the thing.
So what is the number?
Like the Sixers got rid of Fultz. The Sixers got rid of how many players did they get rid of to just have Embiid and Simmons be the focal point of everything?
You're Danny Ainge. What's the number you present? Because he should be extending. He should be trying to extend Jaylen Brown before he gets to extended restricted free agency.
You tell us. He was part of your plan.
Sean's plan. What's the number?
You tell us. He was part of your plan. You said fuck it. Jaylen Brown's part of Sean's plan. So what's
I can't come close to those numbers.
I think if you're Jaylen Brown, you're better off waiting it out. And this is someone who doesn't have an agent, by the way. He still hasn't hired an agent. He's his own agent. You didn't know that?
What an idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're Jaylen Brown,
that fucking makes sense.
you're going to get paid more if you prove yourself throughout the course of the NBA season as opposed to doing it in a month into the year.
Yeah, but if I mean Ainge comes in and says, "Hey, we want to extend you for 4 years at $20 million a year."
That's never going to happen.
4 year, $80 million.
Because then you got to deal with Tatum the following.
Yeah,
year.
but then you can give Tatum a max deal. You can.
Right.
They're your players.
No,
but
I know.
you can't fuck yourself.
It all depends on how they play this year.
Okay, so I'm just saying if
It's
you're
not like
if
if he's-
you're
if
but if
he's-
you're Danny Ainge,
Danny
you gotta
Ainge,
try to get ahead of it.
Yeah, he could offer anything, whatever the
So
offer
what's the
is.
number you're gonna offer if you're Danny Ainge?
If I'm Danny, okay, I'm going to say I'll tack on.
The guy who should be answering this question is you.
I said
he's
4
part of your
years,
plan.
$80 million. I'd be 4 years, 85, 4 years, 90, something around that thing. 4 years, 80 to 90 mil. I would say, okay, let's do it. If we're gonna build, if Danny's legit on building around Tatum and Brown going forward, yeah, I would do that because then next year you would offer Tatum something like Jamal Murray got and something like Ben Simmons got.
I think I'm topping off at 50.
Okay, well he's not
Like,
gonna sign that.
you know,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what
And if
saying,
I'm Danny, I said, fair enough. All right, don't sign him.
He's like, you want me to sign for $12 million a year? Marcus is making 13.
I just think it's way too risky to lock someone in at that amount, at that price, when you haven't seen how they meshed yet. This is like, I'm not saying it's like a brand new roster, but in a sense, it kind of is. If we're talking about the core is different, completely different now, completely different identity, different roles, and you got new guys that you have to implement and see how they all mix.
Now I'm not the biggest Jaylen Brown guy, but
I know. I'm surprised you're saying this.
look at. I think if you look at Terry Rozier, do get about what was it, $17.5 million a year, something like that.
Yes.
Who, Terry Rozier?
Yep.
19 mil.
Okay, $19 million a year. All right. If you let Jaylen Brown go into restricted free agency, teams that have cap space will put out there $25 million a year.
Yeah. And if you're Danny Ainge come the trade deadline, Danny Ainge will trade him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And couple him with whatever he needs to make a deal go through.
Yes.
I mean, like, think about it. If there's one guy,
Sorry, man. It's guttural reaction for me. Trade Jaylen Brown, man.
if there's one guy that you can say, okay, you can get a lot for and you're willing to part ways with, it's Jaylen Brown.
Okay. Then I think if that's the case, do you trade him now or do you wait?
I mean, see, that's the thing. It's a tricky situation because if you, I
I think
mean,
the team would rather have the guy 2 years under control instead of 1.5 years under control.
right. But then also you have to think of the teams that are looking for that extra scoring power heading into the playoffs, whether we're talking about a top tier contender
What about
or,
the Celtics? Celtics don't need that scoring power.
well, depends what you're getting on the other end.
So that's why it's almost they've basically
It's a tough conversation to have in July. That's what it is.
Well,
Seriously.
but I do think that there's a lot of
He just wants to be ahead of it so he can be like, I told you guys. I was the first one to say it back in, fucking July.
Who was the second overall pick that year?
Bro, Ben Simmons, #1, didn't play.
Who was the
His
second
first
overall
year.
pick that year?
The year that Jaylen Brown came in?
Yep.
It was, I was about to say Ball, but it wasn't Ball.
Ingram.
All
Okay.
right. He may never play basketball again. What does that have to do
Exactly.
You stupid fuck.
Who was number 3?
with Jaylen Brown?
Okay. Who was number 4?
I don't know.
Dragon Bender.
Jamal.
No, I forgot about
was
him.
Bender?
It was Bender.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Bender doesn't count. Bender fucking sucks. We all know Bender sucks. But Jamal Murray is number 5, right?
You wanted Bender over Brown, though.
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
did. But I also wanted Murray over Brown, so I'm sort of right. I'm just saying, though, you need to start thinking about what his role on the team is because those guys are getting signed.
You don't need to think that hard because #1, just like what Sway said, those guys, Murray and Simmons, they're focal points of their. So if Brown becomes a focal point of the offense this year, then all right then. So then you got something going forward.
And you can barely make an argument right now that he's the third option, right?
It all depends on how Hayward responds.
Because Hayward responds well.
I don't think it has any.
He's going to be a top option. You got Kemba Walker. You got Jason Tatum.
But I also don't.
Based on what I've seen him, his workouts in the offseason so far.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it matters how he is playing it within this current Boston Celtics team. I think if Brown's smart, which everyone says he is, I haven't seen it yet. But if Brown's smart,
Murray went 7th. I was thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, because Chris Dunn went before him.
okay, it doesn't matter when they went. The 3 best players in the draft, right? in the draft are Simmons, Murray, and Brown.
Those are the top three.
Brown was third. Yeah.
I know that.
I'm just saying, like, the best three players in the draft. Jesus Christ, we don't care where they got drafted.
I know, but that you're saying top three as in like literally the top three, because that's.
I agree.
You could make that argument.
The reason why those teams did it right now and they gave them the max deal right now is because they are focal points of the offense. But
Simmons is an all-star.
But how does Jaylen see that and say, I'm going to be okay with taking a little bit less to stay in Boston? I don't think he will. I think this is a long way of coming around to say, if he's not going to take 15 to 20 mil a year, does he work out in Boston long term? That's just something we need to watch out for, and that makes him more of a tradable asset, I think, than people think.
Yeah, he's expendable. I mean, before Kemba Walker happened, before this team was put together the way it's been put together the last couple of weeks, I've been saying it. I never envisioned Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown sticking around long term. I just don't see it. I just think that it's going to be
Tatum will stick around.
No, I'm saying both of them though. Yeah, exactly. Like if I had to guess, whether you asked me this 2 months ago or asked me this now, it's always been Tatum. It's been Tatum, and Jaylen Brown was going to be the odd man out. You know, I just don't see him as one of those max guys. But depending on what he does this year, he could command some top dollars that Danny's not willing to give up.
Yeah, and restricted free agents are a lot easier, as we have found, to sign in trade.
I mean, listen, this is the window the Celtics are in right now. They got two max guys on their cap between Hayward and Kemba. It's not gonna be like that forever. But for the next couple of years, that's what they're in right now.
So you think that
that third max guy, I just don't think it's going to be Jaylen Brown or anywhere near it.
So you think that
you're talking max dollars right now?
Yeah. Well, 20 is not max, but it's close.
Yeah, it used to be the max.
Yeah. It used to be. That's true.
Yeah, back in the day.
I mean, when you got CP3 that could make about $46 million a year in a couple of years, that's some shit.
It's going to be fun seeing what happens with Jaylen Brown though this year.
All right. Speaking of Celtics signing players.
Speaking of that.
No, the Celtics announced that they have signed Carson Edwards to a 4-year deal.
Hell yeah.
Though the team didn't disclose the amount and all that good stuff, according to the Boston Globe, it's a $4.5 million deal, 3 years being guaranteed, and the fourth year is a team option. Don't see much of those these days. And the second guy that the Celtics have announced that they've signed officially is good old French center Vincent.
Jordan Mickey.
No.
Jordan Mickey coming back?
No, Jordan Mickey was underused and underutilized on this team.
No, we're not going down that rabbit hole.
Vincent Poirier.
Thought you would have practiced this.
Poirier. No, I love the first time you said his name. I was on vacation. You were like, Poirier.
No, I said yay.
No, you said
Portier.
Poirier.
I said Portier.
You did say it, man.
You said Poirier. Really? The first time.
I said Portier.
When you were with Tim, as you guys and Tim, you were like,
oh yeah,
Poirier.
Portier. Whatever the hell you
Portier.
say. Portier.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pronounced that last R. Come on, man. I'm better than that,
man.
Portier.
I'll pull up the clip. They signed him to 2 years at $5.1 million. So far, everyone that's been drafted have been signed.
Yo, Romeo's gonna be a baller.
You want him to be a baller, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be a baller, man.
I
was scratching my head when they made the pick, honestly, but that's just me.
I started looking into it, and Tim watched a lot of Big Ten basketball, and he gave him the thumbs up.
Tim gave everyone the thumbs up, though. That's
Tim also was happy with the Suns drafting that dude that everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Tim is so excited about fucking Aaron Baines going to the Suns, and I love me some Aaron Baines, but I don't know how he helps your squad. But that's just me. If you're not a championship contender, I don't know how he helps your squad.
You gotta just think like, the Suns don't get a lot of people. So
I've never seen someone so excited about someone like Aaron Baines. And he was so upset at how they couldn't get rid of Tyson Chandler for the longest. Remember that? Crazy.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "We just gotta cut that dude." It's like a lot of money to cut. Anyways, and that's it. That's all I got for this edition of In Case You Missed Thought.
All right.
In case you missed thought.
In case you missed that.
He's doing that French thing again because he said that guy's name.
Vincent Poirier.
Yeah. All right, we're up out of here, guys.
You guys remember when I was thinking a few weeks ago about Danny Ainge trying to go overseas and grab big guys? Remember Fariani? Victor Fariani?
Oh, shit.
Yes, I do. No, was it Favarini?
No, it's Fariani. He's dead, bro.
No, he's not, bro.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm about to say
Joel's
no,
face.
man. Don't fucking say that,
Yeah,
dude.
because Fat Mello wasn't part of that the thing too, man. Big man from overseas.
Yeah, but didn't he play college though?
He
played
did
college
play
ball.
at Syracuse,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still
Brazil,
was
yeah.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
Also, Semi Erden
Samir Den, yes.
came over.
Yes, that was quite the 2012 squad there that took LeBron to 7.
Yeah,
That would have been the end of that squad had the Celtics advanced to the finals that year.
Danny just always has his hands,
He tries. He tries at least.
Hey, by the way, Daniel Tice took DeMarcus' spot.
No, he didn't.
They did. Either way, all right. Well, Tice is a waste of space, man.
Oh shit! He said that.
Waste of space. Hey, if he can get back to what he did like before his injury, maybe he'll be all right. But I didn't see it last year.
Nah, I need to see some defense. That's what I need to see.
Some defensione. All right, Vincent Poirier.
Good old Vince. All right.
Later.
Peace.